Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Saturday. Cheers to you. What is this? Oh, this is Tully's coffee. I got this up in Seattle, but I'm not drinking Tully's coffee. What do you think I'm drinking? Starbucks. This is actually, I told you guys, I'm really not drinking a lot of coffee anymore. This is what I packed to bring with me in the car on the way to hot yoga. So I'm fresh back from hot yoga. This is the post-yoga look. Of course I've taken a shower, but obviously I still have post-yoga hair. And I'm taking a couple sips because I really haven't had a lot of caffeine, and I do like a certain amount of caffeine in the morning. But I am also, you are here with me while I'm cooking live. You know what's in here? These are protein pancakes, which I've been dying to make. I was out of my protein powder, and please excuse me while I actually, you might hear the sizzle, and I'll show you. I'll tell you what's in the recipe. Hear the sizzle? Oh, I might have needed to make these a little thicker. Oh heavens. Hold on. We're doing a little dripping that I didn't want to. You can test. I probably made this a little thin, but it's okay. It'll still work. I'm using a griddle because I know that's the best way to cook. I didn't even taste the batter. Pretty tasty. Here's what I do. And this is like a mishmash of a lot of protein pancake recipes. Hold on, just so you can see. See what we got going on here? They're kind of runny. See how that one was running over? But anyway, I have seen so many different protein pancake recipes, and there really are. There's so many versions based on, you know, figure competitors are going to kind of tend to make, I gotta get my, you're gonna have to just come with me. I have to get my, what's it called? See? Over here. My tools. Anyway, figure competitors will tend to use more like really low carb. They're not going to put as much oatmeal in it or cottage cheese. See, when I first found out about protein pancakes, excuse me while I flip, I feel like I'm on Food Network. Only not, and I'm not trained. Oh, and I just screwed up. Paula Deen would be very upset. You don't want to see what I just did to the second pancake. See, when I started to get all cocky and like, I'm on Food Network, bitch. Had a little problem there. But the first time I tried, I heard about protein pancakes was I think on Body for Life. And for that recipe, you used something like, you guys will have to why does someone always call me when I'm vlogging? Don't they know? I need to have like a light on that people can, when they call me, they go, Kelly's vlogging. With the Body for Life recipe, you use something like cottage cheese, like half a cup of cottage cheese, egg whites, oatmeal, maybe not even protein powder. I'm trying to remember. And then I remember, I think, seeing Crystal Richardson on YouTube, and then of course I learned from Jenny Lynn when I went to visit her, and then from her video, that you can actually make protein pancakes, seriously. So the protein that I'm using is from GNC, our besties, Fitfluential's bestie. Now this has a serving is 3 scoops, which is 290 calories, 60 grams of protein. I don't need that much protein in one serving, so I did 2 scoops, 2 scoops of protein powder, 4 egg whites, a fourth of a cup of oatmeal, and then added some water, a bunch of cinnamon, and some Splenda. And for those of you that don't use Splenda, you need to just get over it, because guess what? I also use butter spray, which is fake and chemical. So I respect you people that are all non-chemical free, but I am, alas, not. So I like it, and the thing that I like about these pancakes is, you know, Danielle, they're certainly not like the pancakes that we have at the Pancake House out in Vegas, which make me want to lick the plate. But, and Danielle has seen me lick the plate. Yeah, I made these too watery. Next time I'm going to have to, not necessarily make more oats, but I put too much water in. I put too much liquid. No big deal. It still is going to taste the same. And that's the nice thing is, like if any of you guys have watched Jenny Lynn's first video, that kind of followed her around as she was training for the Olympia a few years back. You know, she was making protein pancakes, and she'd make them the night before, and she'd just heat them up, and you can put butter spray on them if you want. You can put sugar-free syrup, regular syrup, whatever. It doesn't take much syrup. You know, I've measured out a fourth of a cup of syrup, and I use like this much of that. So you don't need a lot of syrup. And I really dig the taste. I also like that if I was ever in a hurry, it's something that I could pack and put in a bag. So protein pancakes are my thing. But just keep in mind, I've made, when you get some of the flavored protein powders, there's so many brands out there. I like BSN as well. They have like chocolate coconut, and they have a cinnamon roll one that makes really good pancakes. You know what I'm going to make later today? I'm so in the cooking mood. It's from Gina Aliotti's DVD. It's a zucchini protein bread, and you make it, and excuse me, it'll make a loaf of bread. So this is one serving. I made the mistake when I was first making them of using this size, and then it was really flat. But if you use a smaller size like this, one serving, one whole loaf is your whole serving. And what you do, I'll post the recipe separately. You shred up zucchini, you put, I think, a half a cup of oats, maybe 4 egg whites, again, a lot of Splenda and cinnamon. She uses Trader Joe's pumpkin pie spice. Trying to think if there's anything else, but when you mix it all up, believe me, so there's like no bad carbs in it or anything like that. It's like one serving gives you the perfect amount of, you know, combo, low fat, good protein, and it tastes like zucchini bread. You know, you have to play with it a little bit. You have to add some cinnamon, and it'll taste really good. But I like that. And for those of you that might be like listening to this going, oh God, Kelly, are you transitioning into like that pre-competition diet where all you eat is, you know, protein pancakes and protein shakes and whatever? No, I am adding more because I definitely can see that over the past several months I have not been getting enough protein, and for me, one of my personal goals is to build a little bit more muscle mass. I'm not competing, but I definitely do want to build some muscle mass in my upper body, and you have to have protein for that. Now, I was just thinking about this morning. I was just thinking, like, as I'm starting to have some more, I told you guys, I'm really focused this last quarter on reaching my weight loss goal. And I have 20 pounds to lose until I'm in really like a happy range where I'm close to my, I might be close to my ideal weight. I haven't weighed myself, so I need to weigh myself this week. And then I'm going to track my measurements and my weight because it's important to do both. But, you know, calories and my intake and making the most of my workouts and my diet. And by diet, I just mean I've got to watch the amount that I'm eating, because otherwise I won't lose weight. I'll just stay at exactly the same weight. And I'm going to lose the weight that I want to lose, whoa, Nelly, by the end of the year. Actually, you know what? These aren't that bad. I'm going to just show you. I was saying how thin, how runny they were, but guess what? I'm kind of digging it. So, and I'm going to have like a nice stack of pancakes for, let's see, 2 scoops of that. I'll get back to what I was saying, the diet thing. 2 scoops of that is 90 calories each, so 180 calories. 4 egg whites, I think, is 60 calories, so 180 and 60, it's about 240, and 1 egg, full egg in there, so 240 and 70 is 310, and 1/4 of a cup of oatmeal is 75, so it's almost going to be, is that right? If I said that right, I'll be right about 400 calories. So it's a little bit higher calorie meal, but you know, I'm not really eating 6 meals a day. I might be eating closer to 4 or 5, if that. And again, it's just all about counting. But I was just thinking to myself as I was, you know, getting ready to make these, and I'm thinking, you know, why is it that I feel like I can now say, look, I'm going to be dieting from now to the end of the year, and yet not get caught up into the old habits that really screwed me up the last couple of years. You know, I keep referring to the last couple of years and going, you know, I was in this really bad psycho diet mindset, and I wasn't doing things right, and I made no progress because I kept going, you know, I was one extreme or the other, high up here, kicking butt, whatever. It's because in my mind I was constantly like, Kelly, this is all you can do. This is all you can eat. You could only eat this, and if you eat anything else, you know, it was an absolute catastrophe in my mind. You know, if I had an apple, I was like, ah, you know, and then I'd start training with my trainer, and he'd say, you know, you only lost 2% body fat, and I'd be like, oh, and I'd analyze everything, and I'd be like, that's because I ate fruit, and then I'd freak out and not want to do anything, and I'd start over. But of course, in between starting over, I'd probably go out and eat something really, really bad and binge on it. And it was just this very rigid mindset that I had put on myself because I thought, I've got to fix myself in 2 weeks. It's got to be done, because everyone's staring at me. And I've come to terms with that whacked out mindset. I've come to terms with accepting myself along the way. And I've also come to terms with the fact that although here's what I want to focus on every day, I want to be eating right. When the time comes and I feel like I want something bad, like if I feel like I want Pop-Tarts, or if I feel like I want a Krispy Kreme donut, or I feel like going to McDonald's and getting a fish sandwich with fries, I'm at the point now where I can really sit and think. And I always sit and think and I stop. And I think about my goals. And I think about the jeans that don't fit me yet. And I'm like, what's more important? Now sometimes, maybe that time of the month, and I feel like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. But I calm down, I'm not like hiding it, I'm not trying to like binge and not tell anybody, I'm owning what I'm doing, and I'm okay with it. I'm not worried about, extremes and you've got to be in the right mindset. There's nothing wrong with having, some of you guys might do a cheat meal, some of you guys might do a cheat day. We all have different things that we do to keep ourselves in line with our goals. I just feel much more comfortable in my mind now, focusing on eating right, but not being like, this is the plan, and if you stray from the plan, you have failed and you have to start all over again. That's what I was doing before. Can you hear that freaking dog? I hate them so much. The other thing I did this when I started training for the marathon last year. I started running, and I do that. I go from in the past, I've gone from one extreme all the way up here. And then when I fail, when I don't do well up here, then I like freak out, I get all depressed. I'm trying to find that middle ground, and I'm getting much better. But when I started training for the marathon, I went and I did a 5K, and then all of a sudden, because Amy was doing a half marathon, I had to do a half marathon. And then, if you want to train for a half marathon, you have to do certain things every week. And every week, because I was traveling or whatever, I wasn't meeting those goals. And then I felt like I failed. And then it was like this colossal amount of pressure to do this and that. And then, of course, I started freaking out about, while I'm running all of this and I'm hungry, how much more can I eat? But I'm not losing weight. And it was just too much. I'm doing what I know works for me. I'm taking each week and seeing, okay, does this amount of calories work? And if it's not, I'm just very aware. I am going to hit my weight loss goal by the end of the year. If it doesn't, let me tell you, I'm not gonna go through another year, because the past 2 years, I've been saying this, 2 years, and I pretty much just stayed in some way. I lost some weight, then I go back up, then I lost some weight, and I've just done this for 2 years. Because my mind was in a messed up place, my mind's in a good place, I'm doing things differently, my head's on straight. Some of you might disagree. And it's time. It's time to make it all happen. And I'm much more just calm about it, and being nice to myself along the way, instead of spending 2 hours every day here and there looking at myself in the mirror and cursing myself for not making it. Not going to happen anymore. So I hope some of that is going to help some of you guys that are going through the same thing. Thank you for all of your nice comments, and I'm going to go eat my protein pancakes right now. Yum. Talk to you guys later.